Welcome back, all you Fabricants and Fleshbags, to the super, not funny show, Supercast. The Supercast, where we talk about all things superhero in our pop culture media. That's movies, TV shows, video games. We talk about the news, do some speculation, all that good nerdy stuff. I'm Mole Popeye, your resident fabricant and comment extraordinaire on all things pop culture, joined by the anime expert, video game designer, and lover of all things superhero, my good friend Lottie. Man, what's going on tonight?
Man, nothing much. Just enjoying myself, relaxing. Just finished exercising. Got a new punching bag, so I can release some daily stress whenever I get home.
Right. Well, yeah, living in Florida, that's all we got around down here. it's dude, it's been quite a week since our 100th episode. I don't know about you. I've gotten into live streaming. I'm trying to do that every week. And just enjoying all the stuff that's going on now that the TV season's over. We got summer season coming up, and that's actually sort of related to this episode. So, but Lottie, what nerdy stuff have you been up to? I know something you need to get up to.
I super binged Demon Slayer. I watched all of Demon Slayer to where it was like right now, which is episode 6. Then I got sick and tired of waiting, which was only a day, and completely read the entire manga.
Wow, you did all of that, but you still haven't watched Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. How dare you, sir? How dare you?
And it's been rough, man. I've actually like really broke right now.
Oh, you don't have Paramount Plus right now?
It's on Paramount Plus, or I didn't
Hell
know that.
yeah, it's on Paramount Plus.
Okay, I'll check it
No
out then.
excuses. I hear no
I didn't know.
excuses.
Oh, I didn't know. Like, honestly.
So I want you to go watch that. Redeem yourself, sir. Redeem yourself. Anyway, this is a supercast. We're going to talk about superhero things. Man, so much stuff going on. Yes, the writer's strike is still going on. But that doesn't mean that business isn't moving forward. And we got a long list of things to talk about. In our quick items, there's the Justice League and Justice League Unlimited land in a new streaming place. Some things that have been projects that have been stopped by the strike. Shazam 2, it kind of nosedived, and we're gonna tell you exactly how much. We got some casting news for Venom 3 and for Deadpool 3. Loki and Echo get release dates, and it might be surprising exactly how they're releasing. There's some continued drama in the Disney Florida feud, and let's just say one side is not going to come out looking so hot in this particular situation. And then we're going to go under the gun. We're going to talk about all this James Gunn news because, Guardians 3 is going hard right now. And also, there's a lot of anticipation for Superman Legacy and some news on that front. And some kind of behind the scenes stuff at Marvel about what James Gunn contributed to the MCU prior to being fired, way back years ago. And also, James Gunn talks about his top 5 comic book movies and what does that mean for Superman, potentially for Superman Legacy. So, Lottie, plenty of things to talk about, dude. You ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, let's get into it. So, the quick bits, man. Look, these are just things. We're not going to spend a lot of time on this. I just want to just note things that are happening. And the first thing is, remember we talked about how HBO Max was kind of purging content, and it turned out they never really did get rid of Justice League or Justice League Unlimited. But they are definitely trying to make that cash, so they're licensing their content to other places. Lottie, if you go log into Netflix right now, you can go watch Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, which I know you're itching to do.
On Netflix? No.
But look, these are evergreen shows, man. People still love these things. So I think it's great that it's not disappearing, because there definitely are things are disappearing from different streaming services right now as they try to cut cut costs, try not to pay residuals to everyone involved, and that's something that we talked about with the strike. But there's definitely a lot of that going on. So I'm glad that we actually, if you want to watch it, you can go watch it on Netflix.
Yeah. Just listen. Not keeping Justice League TV show stupid. That would be an absolute dumb, retarded move. That's just all I gotta say about that.
Yeah.
He was smart.
Well, yeah, they're. I mean, I think they're not gonna get rid of IP. That's gonna boost DC. So, also the strike is going on. Speaking of residuals, and we got a couple of comic book projects that have halted or delayed or halted their development, their filming and everything. And they are Marvel's Wonder Man and also the Penguin, which Lottie, I know you're highly anticipating. Um, yeah,
You just stabbed me in the gut.
Well, hey, don't hey, it's this is what happens when the people with the money want to be stingy. So
Yeah.
the strike, I think the strike is in its third week right now, and it's I mean serious business. And but the Penguin and Wonder Man, they're very much going to be. I don't want to say writers. Penguin is very writer centric. I think that's clear that they need writers on set to make sure everything's on point. And but this is going to be happening across the industry. Actually, I've heard some shows they're like, we're going to keep on moving forward. The writers just won't be around. And I'm like, woof, that shit might not be good then, because if you don't have the writers there to punch up the dialogue, if shit ain't working, what you gonna do? Except make a trash show. So I don't know what to say.
GPT.
Yeah, I've used Chat GPT. It's not a good screenwriter.
It's terrible.
It's just not. So, but we'll keep you guys up to date on any other projects that may be affected by this. But like as the weeks roll on, expect to hear more of these, and it's definitely gonna have a big effect if this is still going on by August. So, last bit of quick news. Here's a big surprise. Shazam 2 is the biggest flop that the DCEU ever had. It's pitiful. Did it even break 200 million? I don't think it did worldwide. An absolute a gigantic flop. Lottie, was this fair to Shazam 2?
It wasn't fair to Shazam 2, but DC can only blame themselves for it. When you literally say these don't count anymore, yeah, these movies don't count anymore. It's whatever. Like, this is basically the end. We're not going to probably get a Shazam 3. You know what I mean? So
definitely.
Why watch it?
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. So why watch it?
Yeah, I don't even think this thing it didn't even make its budget back. It might have. It might have made its budget back, but that ain't enough. Again, I don't think that people gave this a fair shot, and I think maybe people will see it on HBO Max, or I guess Max, whatever the fuck they're about to call this thing, and maybe redeem it there. But that's not enough. We're not gonna. I don't think we're gonna see Shazam in its current carnation in the DC studios films, and if at all, probably not for 6 or 7 years. So. Anyway, so that's all of our quick news. Lottie, let's talk about casting news. We have a few, a couple of projects that both I am assuming we're both really looking forward to. I'm really excited for Venom 3, and also Deadpool 3. It's a given. Like, I can't wait. Like, I'm gonna try to be there opening day to see that. And so we got some news that Chiwetel Ejiofor has been cast as they're saying the villain of Venom 3, and I cannot for the life of me anticipate who the hell the Venom 3 villain is going to be. We've already had Carnage. Who the hell else can they have? Like, what's a villain that he could play? Because they didn't. I don't think they named who it would be.
What's it called? The King of Symbiotes.
I mean, would they go there on the third Venom movie? Like,
I mean, you
that's a gigant. That's essentially like saying, all right, the second film, if this was a Spider-Man movie, the first film, we're fighting the Vulture. Second film, we're fighting Mysterio. Third film, we're fighting Thanos. And I'm like,
but
you can't jump to that.
but
That's
the
too
what's the
far.
call said, but the Tom Hardy said this is the last one. So you will
Sure.
think, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I believe that completely.
No, I'm not. I think it's the last Venom solo movie. If Venom's gonna be in a movie, it'll be with Spider-Man. But
Yeah.
Venom by himself, I think that's it.
Yeah, but I mean, no, really, that's
I
that's
think so. I really.
that's a huge jump. Like, and let's just say, no, we'll never lose to Venom. That's just not gonna happen. Like, that's not. They literally had to mobilize all of the Marvel universe to like deal with this guy. So I mean, maybe if they're gonna have him, shoot tell Edgefor, he's definitely the guy to do it. So I don't know what his role is. I don't care. I'm excited just because he's excellent. And so he's gonna be in the MCU and in the Spider Verse going forward. So that's pretty cool. On the other movie I cared about, which again, Deadpool 3. Yes, all I can say is yes. They have confirmed something that when we were talking about, casting for Colossus and everything before, we're like, I said, who did I say I wanted to know about? Where is Negasonic Teenage Warhead? And the gods of comic books has smiled upon us because we are getting Negasonic Teenage Warhead and Yukio back, and I cannot wait. Lottie, I mean, could they have ever possibly have done this movie without them?
No, I'm excited to see what this new Deadpool movie is going to be. It sucks that as soon as they announce it, they're like, "Yeah, by the way, that release date, Cap."
It's not happening. Not if they're still writing and there's a writer's strike on. Definitely not.
Yeah, this movie might be late 2024.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, but still, we do get to hear Yukio say, "Hi, Wade." I mean, if she says that 3 times in the movie, I'm just gonna say S tier movie, like straight up. We don't even have to talk about it. As long as those two are in there, and just being like,
This is the same Yukio from the Wolverine, right?
I don't think it's the same. It's just the girl that was Negasonic Teenage Warhead's girlfriend, and she was just
But
like, she loves every time she sees Wade and Wade. It's like they're besties, and I love it. So I'm just happy that we're getting Negasonic Teenage Warhead. She adds something to the whole mix. Just she's just a jaded Gen Z kid. She's just not. She's all over. She's over Wade's shit, but she still really likes him. I love it. So I'm really happy to see this. Anyway, so that's our casting news. Really happy about those things. So and we also got some news, Lottie, about MCU TV. I don't know if you noticed, but it's been a hot minute since we've seen anything MCU TV. In fact, the last thing we saw on MCU TV, wasn't it She-Hulk? Was that the last thing we saw? She-Hulk?
I believe so.
So it's been a long time. I think and it's still going to be an even longer time because we are not getting Loki or Echo. Those are going to be the only Marvel MCU TV shows this year. We're not getting up to the end of the year, man. Like fall, and I don't mean fall as in like September. No, damn near December. It's October 6th for Loki, and then Echo for November 29th. And I mean, I'm like, yay, we get a date, but I'm like, well, dang it, that's why y'all waiting all the way to the end of the year. And in addition to that, Echo is dropping all 6 of its episodes on the same day, on November 29th. So there's two things going on. So one, Lottie, we got the dates. What do you think about that? But the other thing to think about is, why is Echo abandoning the normal MCU TV release schedule and dropping the whole thing on one day? So Lottie, what do you think?
Here's my thing. Their release date makes absolute sense. I thought it won't be
Oh,
till next
and
year.
you know what? And by the way, let me back up. I just remembered because I'm an idiot. Secret Invasion comes out on June 21st, so it's not those two. It's three actually. So that there will be three MCU TV things. So anyway, back to what you were saying.
It makes sense. I thought these were gonna come out at the end of the year. I was like, this might. I mean, I thought they were gonna come out next year. So end of the year makes sense. And Echo coming out on 6 episodes at once makes sense. Makes sense. This is the strategy that I talked about that I think shows like Echo don't do it a weekly show. Do it just all at once because I don't think Echo's a character that will capture people to have people wait a week to watch an episode. You can do that with Loki because it's a popular show, but Echo, no. Just release all 6 episodes at once. So when people hear about it the first week, they'll just completely watch every episode.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, don't. If you try to make it a weekly thing, you'll kill the show. I'm just telling you, it's just
Yeah.
not. It's not that kind of show that you release once a week. It's just not.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you've put a positive spin. There's a lot of people saying like this show must be trash because they're not releasing it week to week. They must might not have any confidence on it. And they're just gonna like dump it and then move on. And this coupled with the fact that we've heard not good things about the development and production of this show, uh, down to the fact that it should have come out theoretically. It should have been ready last year, I think, or at very least at the beginning of this year. But they were reshooting and all this other stuff. So I think maybe it indicates that maybe it's not so good. But also, I like your idea that hey, people don't really know this character, and we've got to just we got to put it all out there, so that we don't have to worry about declining viewing numbers. And
Mhm.
I think that's fair. I also think that is Kevin Feige really just gonna be like, you know what, fuck it, just send it out, whatever. Is that really a thing he's gonna do? I don't know if I believe that. So I'm just glad we got the release, you know, at all. And also, it's interesting that its release is directly like before, but this might also be why Echo drops all at once too. It's before um, the Marvels because the Marvels is in November. Remember, so this
Mhm.
is so they're not trying to step on the Marvels' toes. That I think with this release, but it does make me wonder like why Echo needs to be released this year at all. Like why is it required and then is it important that it releases so that it leads into Daredevil Born Again? Like I don't know. There's a lot of questions about this, but at the least we do know it's coming out near the end of the year, so we'll look forward to that. I'm sure we're going to get some trailers coming up pretty soon. So Lottie, we as Floridians, that's right, we are claiming this state for better or for worse because that's where we live. We are down here, and we've been living in the Desantis era, and let's just say less than ideal for things down here. But we've been sort of watching from the sidelines as Disney and DeSantis sort of have it out. And it seems like remember what last time we talked about that? It seemed like DeSantis was kind of maybe getting the upper hand because the legislature was passing stuff and they're like, oh, there we got woke Disney, and Moneybags Mickey sort of was like, we'll take you to court, right? That's all was going on. Well, yet another development in this little battle that's going on between the state of Florida, or really I guess Ron DeSantis and the Republicans of the state of Florida and Disney, the largest employer in the state of Florida. And it is this. Disney decided not to go forward with a $1 billion complex in Central Florida, where they were going. They were going to get like $500 million plus in tax incentives to relocate about 2,000 employees from California to Disney World, to Disney in Florida. So rather than doing that and building this $1 billion, they hadn't broken ground or anything, and build this $1 billion facility and move all these people from California to Florida and all that stuff, they've opted, as they said, because of changing business environments and situations, to not do that, to abandon that plan that's been years in the making, and instead stay in Florida, stay in California with these people. And in fact, people who have already moved to Florida in anticipation of this facility and everything that was going on, they're in fact going to work with, possibly or most likely bringing them back to California. And a lot of, especially people who are anti-Desantis, not just on the left, but also on the right, because he's not, universally loved over there either, have been sort of crowing about him losing $1 billion plus, because not the $1 billion facility plus whatever business and whatever economic advantage that the employees moving there would mean. And he's sort of kind of getting slapped around in the media about losing $1 billion for the state of Florida. Lottie, I don't know how familiar you are with this, but is this Disney saying fuck you DeSantis, or is this just like, hey, money, we need to save some money or whatever, and we're not going to spend $1 billion right now because of other things that are going on? What do you think?
I hope it's not them saying fuck DeSantis, because that, in my opinion, is kind of stupid, because I don't think you should be that petty over something. You know what I mean? Because that is something that can, for jobs and everything like that. But hey, n- when you play games with people that got a lot of money, we're the ones who always suffer.
Yeah,
But it's just,
what's the term that we fuck around and find out? And like, I think there hasn't been a lot of finding out on the part of DeSantis and his cronies. They've been doing they've been, telling Disney you're going to find out. And now, money is money, and purse strings, you can't, that the purse strings can be tightened significantly, even though they talked about investing more money in Florida. But yeah, is it petty or is it hardball? That's why I'm asking you.
I think if it's what I'm thinking, I think it's a little petty. I think it's a little petty because at the end of the day, I know Disney, the guy might be making you mad, but this is something that could help out a lot of people, especially people that move there. Like, I can't imagine somebody's like, "Oh yeah, I'm about to move out of California and get into Florida where it's cheaper." Man, now I got to move back. Oh,
Yeah.
damn! I thought I escaped.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know. I if I were from California, I moved here, I'm like, it's cheaper, but man, these people here are fucking crazy. Like, if I saw the trajectory of things down here, and again, and this is me. Now, I will admit, I don't like DeSantis, and I never have liked him. I don't agree with his politics or his policies generally speaking. Don't like the guy or the things he stands for. So I would feel like going to California would be the escape. But I understand that there's an economic would be an economic boom to the state of Florida, and probably Disney. But people have to understand that this shit has consequences. Like that. So far, all we've been seeing is Republicans talk about, oh, Disney's got to have consequences for speaking out against us or what. That's been their talk, and they got to understand, like, you're so used to, putting the boot to people who don't have any power or money, you forgot that people that do have power and money don't have to roll over and take your shit. Now, that said, I think that this is a oh well, we kind of needed to do this anyway, so we may as well dig a knife, twist the knife anyway on the way out. Because again, this is $1 billion that they were going to spend, and I don't know if you had heard about this, but Disney may be on the hook for like big money very soon because because
and
of
they
the whole Hulu thing.
yeah.
That so why spend $1 billion right now when you're about to have to spend billions of dollars to buy Comcast out of or NBC Universal out of Hulu? Why would you even bother doing that? Are you not going to? I mean, how much savings are you going to get? This whole thing about moving out of California was because of taxes and shit like that. But if you're if you have to spend $1 billion to save $500 million, I think maybe you just chill. But what do I know? I'm just a dude on the fucking internet. I don't, I'm not a high finance guy. It just seems like math to me, though. So
Yeah.
But either way, I can't help but cheer for this shit just because, one, I don't live in fucking Central Florida, so this doesn't bother me in the slightest. Two, fuck Desantis. And three, maybe people in Central Florida losing out will get them to maybe vote out some of the dumb motherfuckers that are, co-signing DeSantis' bullshit. And, get those dudes out of office and get people in office who will not lose you $1 billion investment in Florida. Just saying. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, politics over. We're gonna move on to not politics. And Lottie, this is we may have to institute this as a normal thing on the show until as the DC universe, DC Studios universe ramps itself up, and we gotta get a new. By the way, we need a new name for this too. What do we call it? The DCEU from before James Gunn and Peter Safran. What the fuck are we gonna call it after that? It can't be the DCEU anymore. I don't even want to call it the DC universe. That doesn't feel right. I don't know. What do you think?
Injustice universe.
Not Injustice. I hope it's not the Injustice universe.
Wow. I'm
just calling it the Gunniverse for now, the DC Gunniverse. But I think we should institute a thing on there called Under the Gun, where we talk about what's James Gunn up to as he prepares to get the DC Studios films underway, and in particular, we're talking about Superman Legacy. That's going to be the first one. Lottie, he confirmed. Guess what? They are filming. Start filming on Superman Legacy in January. God damn it, that's awesome. I don't know how you feel about that. How do you feel about that, sir?
See me. I'm just ready. After seeing Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm just ready to see how he's gonna put me in the House of Pain with Superman.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna end up getting hurt, dying. Then I'm gonna be sad. He might make it. You know what he might do? He might make it that Brainiac sacrifice himself, and then we're all crying for this AI machine that we know is gonna come back and beat the shit out of Superman eventually. I just have a feeling he's gonna do that because he just.
Well, yeah, I hope it's not. Like the thing is I don't want, sad cry time Superman. Like I don't really want that. I feel like I want something other than that. And I think James Gunn, like he was talking in an interview about like bringing emotion to Superman, which, I mean, obviously he can do that. We saw that with Guardians 3 that he can do that. But he was like, "Oh, I'm not setting out to try to make y'all cry or anything like that. I'm just trying to be true to the characters and tell a story that kind of like moves the audience, whether it's excitement or crying or whatever, something that makes sense and it matters." And I'm like, "All right, I'm already liking this attitude, my friend. Like you're not. He's setting out, and he's setting out to tell a Superman story that's true to the character, and I'm all for that. Which actually reminds me, dude, I was watching social media. Really, I don't want to say it amps me up. It really just like makes me want again to have a button that will punch people in the face over the internet. And it's like people are. I sometimes wonder, like, do you even know what Superman is about? Because some, of course, it's a Snyder stan talking about like I don't want to see a movie where Superman's rescuing a cat from a tree. I want to see him going ham on what's his name, Steppenwolf. That's the real Superman. And of course he got dogpiled because no, that's not right. Lottie, like these are the so-called fans of Superman that they just want to see him, rage on some supervillain, but not rescue a cat from a tree. Or like, what is that?
The problem, this is the problem. This goes back to 2013. Brother first saw Man of Steel. I asked my brother, how was the movie? You know what he told me? The greatest Dragon Ball Z movie he's ever seen.
This is true. I agree. I absolutely
Because
agree with that.
because Superman was not Superman. He was Goku. The Superman in the comics, the Superman that wasn't I forgot his name. Snyder.
Yeah.
Zack Snyder was trying to portray is basically this guy who knows he's not human, knows that he isn't human, and he's trying his best to fit in. He's saving people because that's what his mission is. It's like it's all just like very, very shallow. While the Superman that I grew up loving is a Boy Scout. The man will do, like, for example, the one thing that kind of takes me away from Henry Cavill's Superman just a little bit is that Henry Superman is not, when he fights and fights people, he doesn't do it out of violence and rage. You know what I mean? He does it out of he wants to protect. But I felt like more and more I saw more and more Henry Cavill Superman. I'm just seeing the guy who's just beating the shit out of people because he's just superior and stronger. The first Superman movie, he was trying to act like that, but the more and more you see him, he was becoming more and more like Goku instead of Superman. Right. You know what I mean?
Like a Goku with a little more emotion and a little more sense, but still.
Yeah.
That's
I want to see.
Yeah, that's what the Snyder stands want to see. They want to see overwhelming power levels and just like dude going raging on somebody. It's like did y'all read any Superman? Did you watch Justice League? At any point did you understand this character? And the answer seems to be no. It's I don't know. That's what the Snyder stands are about, man. Not all of them, but some of them are about. Like, and I agree with you. I want to see the Boy Scout. I don't want to just see a Boy Scout that's just like, oh shucks, gee golly, I don't need. That's not what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about a Superman who's, he is, as you say, a protector, who is, trying his hardest to protect everybody and to help everybody and to, what I'm saying? Like, he's the paragon, and like him doing that shit in the Snyder cut wasn't really it. Just saying. Anyway. That's the hot takes the kind of the trash takes we see on online about Superman. So anyway, Superman Legacy January, excited. Lottie, before we get to more talking about more stuff like that, we have to acknowledge something. That Guardians 3 kicks ass. Like, right? The movie's great. But also it's kicking ass at the box office. When I did these show notes, it was earlier in the week, and it was, can you believe it? It took in $62 million in its second weekend. and that is a 47.5% drop. That, let me tell you what, that is phenomenal. Like, there's only two MCU movies that have done a better, second week drop. But when it comes to Marvel movies, that's phenomenal. When it comes to regular fucking blockbuster movies, that's phenomenal. 47.5% drop. You are winning. Um, Last I checked, and I'll double check it again here now. Last I checked, it was well over $500 million.
It's 547 million
Yeah, it's 547 right now. Now,
as of Wednesday.
yeah, and now keeping in mind that Fast X is out this weekend, so it's probably going to eat up a good amount of the box office. Some of that will have gone to that, but at this rate, and let me tell you, this is doing well. I don't think that it's getting the box office it deserves. Like, would you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it should be six something, right? It should be 650. It's trending towards 700 at this point. But all that being said, I do believe this movie has the potential. If it does, if it does not have a 65% plus drop from the third weekend, it has the potential, I think, to get up to Black Panther Wakanda Forever money, which is 800 mil. Yeah, just on legs alone for the next however many weeks. Because I also have a prediction, Lottie.
Mm-hmm.
Would you agree with me or disagree? Agree or disagree? Fast 10 is going to rule the box office this weekend, but it is going to have a 60% drop in the second weekend. What do you think? And that Guardians is going to be number 2, and it's going to continue to have legs. What do you think?
Yeah, I completely agree. I honestly, man, I still don't know how. Like, there's nothing against Van Diesel and the crew. I just don't know how people still watch those movies. I checked out after the eighth one, and I didn't
Fun,
even
but
watch the
it's
eighth
because
one.
they're fun and ridiculous. Like
It's
they are, but they're not. I have not watched. I watched Fast 9 once. Have not gone back to
I'm not spending money. Like, as somebody who was a fan of the series, it watching the first two movies make me just cringe at the new movies. You know what I mean?
it. Right.
Because it's not. It's like literally, if you show a Gen Z person Fast and the Furious 1 and 2, they won't believe you it's the same movies.
Yeah.
They won't believe you.
Yeah.
Even Fast 3, the first three, they will not believe you. It's become
It's become
I
about
just
it's about family and also defying literally every kind of realistic physical thing.
I think the memes are honestly, I think the memes are better than that movie. The memes of Fast and the Furious are better. Like, that's what I don't give a damn about the movie. I care about the memes. I can't wait till that movie comes out and the memes start coming.
Right. Yeah. Well, we're gonna see, but I definitely think Guardians probably has legs. It's at 547 now. 800 million is 200 250 within 250. I think it can do it, but I think if it makes it to 800, it's just gonna barely squeak into it. Just barely ease into it. Which again is not what this movie deserves. This movie deserves much more. And I think it's kind of being weighed down by the baggage of other, not just MCU movies, but other comic book movies that aren't living up to the hype.
Hmm.
It's not superhero fatigue. It's really more like these movies aren't usually provide a certain level of entertainment, and for better or worse, Ant-Man and the Wasp definitely dragged this movie down. So would you agree with that?
Yeah.
So, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania dragged this movie down. Um, and I think Wakanda Forever. If Wakanda Forever and then this movie had come out, I think this would have been a 1-2 punch, like really to hook up, the box office. But like Ant Man just kind of messed up. And again, I don't think Ant Man deserves the shit that it got. Like I think the movie's pretty good, but whatever. So anyway, we're gonna keep an eye on that box office. I feel confident. The last time I made predictions about the box office was for Wakanda Forever, and I was right about it. So I feel strong about this. But speaking of his Gunn's Marvel, like his involvement in Marvel, that was his last thing. And but before that, Lottie, this may be related to the box office kind of the situation for Marvel. He said that before he got fired, years ago, he was kind of consulting on the scripts for the Marvel movies, like because he and Kevin Feige are friends, friends, and he was sort of being groomed as sort of the guy that was going to be in charge of the cosmic side of the MCU and everything like that before all of that happened. But apparently he was consulting on scripts for like Spider-Man and like I think he said Spider-Man, and I'm trying to remember the other one he was talking about, but Thor and all that other stuff. And remember, this was before Endgame, and of course he also was he did some stuff for Endgame and everything, and for Infinity War. Lottie, was his firing? Not I'm not saying this is true, but he got fired, and then Endgame happened, and then after that, people have widely acknowledged that the quality of the MCU projects have decreased. Is there a coincidence there?
No. This is. I mean, come on, man. Just hey, Maurice, you're an intelligent man. This is not a coincidence. We went look at how gripping the stories of phase 3, parts of phase 2, because parts of phase 2, phase 3, how good they were. And phase 4 was as I will call a filler arc, and then you go and look at what James Gunn did when he got to DC. The man put out 2 bangers. And then when he came back to Marvel, he just coincidentally puts out a banger again. No, it's not coincidence. James Gunn just has a way. What James Gunn does, and I think Marvel is sorely going to miss. And I feel like it's going to be one of the mistakes they're going to look back on and say, maybe we should have, instead of just outright firing him, maybe just sitting him on the sideline for a little bit or something.
Oh,
James
they
Gunn
want to bench their star player. What? Can you do that?
I mean, either what's better, benching them or straight up cutting them?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
You're right.
Because James Gunn has a way of making these characters that are super powerful connect to us. You know what I mean? He makes us feel like every character that he has, like no matter how powerful they are. You got characters like Drax the Destroyer. As dumb and stupid he could be, he's an amazing father. And you can feel that. You can connect with that, especially if you are a father. You know what I mean? That's something that Marvel is going to sorely miss. And I know there are executives up in Marvel going like, damn.
Yeah.
And we let that walk.
And I think even Alan Horn, he's the guy that fired him. He's talked recently about how he regrets having done that. Like it just it was, not a good move on his part. And I would say we often talk about bag fumbling around here. We Jonathan Majors and Letitia Wright and all that. That's maybe one of the biggest bag fumbles because DC, Warner Brothers, they certainly did scoop and score with that. They fumbled Gunn, and DC scoop and scored with him. And like now, look at him now. He's the franchise player, as you say, for DC right now. And Guardians 3, if that's any indication, Superman's about to blow up. That's just all. As far as I can tell, it's in good hands. So yeah,
The closest thing that I've seen to something like this in like the anime world is when they Viz and all of them fired the guy who was creating Boruto. But unlike that, Kishimoto was like, "Yeah, I'll go back and doing it." They had Kishimoto in their back pocket, so they were straight. But you know what I mean?
yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I think James Gunn is sort of not a script doctor, but just giving notes, just giving some notes, probably helped the MCU out quite a bit, and maybe took some of that, you know, responsibility, a bit of the load off of Feige's shoulders. And I think that's, you know, they probably need another guy like that, or a woman, not just have to be a guy, but somebody that can kind of fill those shoes. But I mean, James Gunn is James Gunn. I think he's pretty much proven that, like, he's kind of a unique voice in Hollywood. So that's I thought that was very interesting. But I skipped this earlier. I want to go back to another nerds being mad about dumb shit. Like, as I always say, nerds. This is why we got stuffed in lockers. This is why we got beat up in high school, because we be on some bullshit like this. Lottie, real quick. Cosmo, I love Cosmo in the Guardians movies. She was so much more of an important character in this latest one. You know, even though she's a background character, but still. And at the end of it, you know, she kind of got an upgrade in terms of her place in the MCU. Loved the dog Cosmo. Loved her in the comics when she was a he. But there was like some dude on the internet, like, as usual, some nerd mad about the fact that there was a gender swap, and James Gunn responded to him directly about it, about why he did it, to basically because Cosmo is based on the Russian Cosmo dog, whatever, like who died in orbit. Well, it's a female. That's all that, right? I just love the fact that motherfuckers really have the temerity to sit up and tell this man that it's a problem that he gender swapped the fucking. It's a fucking dog, Lottie. You want to help me go and stuff this dude into a locker and take his lunch money, because like this is some bullshit. This is some of the most bullshit complaining on the internet. Lottie, help me out here.
I'm gonna be honest, man. This is one of those things that I'll just look at them and just, the 50 cents look, shake your head, and just walk away.
You need a
Because
wedgie.
it's not even worth the energy of fighting against the person, because I just look at it like, you're like mad. You know what I mean? It's just, that's why I just look at it, and I'll look at it, shake my head, and just walk away, because it's just like I just don't even see the point of even doing anything about it, because the person's probably absolutely enjoying. They're probably just one of those miserable people that just. I don't even say clout chasing. I don't even think it's that. I think you're giving them way too much credit. I think a lot of these people are just miserable people that just want to cause as much strife and annoy as many people as possible. Like, I don't think it's clout chase. I really think there's a lot of people on social media that are just sad sack of human beings, and they just want other people mad. That's just what they want. And feeding into it gives them life. So I just look at stuff like that and I just go like,
yeah,
whatever. And
yeah.
I just walk,
And James Gunn was like, I literally changed these were humans, now they're not, they're aliens, but you didn't care about that. But suddenly Cosmo's a girl, and this, I'm like, just, it's not, I don't even, this is a culture war thing, but it's a stupid culture war thing. It's like the people on that side are fucking dumb. So anyway, what an idiot. I don't even know the guy's name, and I honestly, who needs to know it? He's an idiot. Last thing I want to talk about, Lottie. This is because I'm so hyped for Superman Legacy, and there's a good reason for it. Yes, Guardians 3 is a good reason. I keep every time, literally any time someone's like, "Oh, I saw Guardians 3," or "Should I see Guardians?" First of all, I'm like, "Yes, you should see Guardians 3." But the second thing I tell them is, if you like that, the guy that wrote and directed that is about to do the next Superman, so get hyped for it. Like, I'm telling that to everybody. That being said, James Gunn continues to prove why he's gonna be the man for this, and I'm convinced he's going to deliver, an epic Superman movie. And he did so by talking about his top 5 comic book movies, movies based on comic books. We're going to ignore 2 of them because while they are cool movies, one of them A History of Violence, the other one is Old Boy, which, by the way, Old Boy is a ridiculous fucking Korean thing. So anyway, but whatever. They're not superhero things. We'll talk about the superhero things and why they give me great hope that these are the sorts of movies that kind of inspire James Gunn in his artistry. So Lottie, let's talk about it real quick. he name dropped Deadpool, the first Deadpool, and he also name dropped the original Christopher Reeve Superman and Into the Spider-Verse. In fact, Into the Spider-Verse, he says, is his favorite comic book movie. Lottie, so I know you've seen 2 of those at least. What does this tell you about James Gunn and the way, not just how he's possibly going to approach Superman, but just approaches the comic book genre at all, and how it's going to how it's going to lead into how he approaches the DC universe.
The man has taste. That's all I gotta say.
I'm picturing a cup of tea with a pinky up. I'm clearly a man of refined taste.
Yep. Or with a glass of wine with a nice steak.
Or as like the Leon Phelps, the ladies' man, with his glass of Crevassier. He's just swirling it around to get the bouquet because he is a man of refined taste. But yes, continue, sir.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool to see that he likes these kind of movies. I'm I've like I said, I've already been excited. After I saw the what he did with Guardians of the Galaxy, I just know that we're going to get a lot of stuff that is not going to be what a lot of people are. I'll just say this: if you're a Snyder stan, you're probably grinding your teeth right now. Your teeth are smashing against your jaw. This is not for you. This is for.
But I don't agree with that. This is gonna be for them. That's the thing is, the reason why I say this, and I'm sorry to interrupt you. I have to say this. I don't think the Snyder Stans as a group are irredeemable or never gonna have taste. Sure, there's some really loud vocal ones, and they have a particular idea of what the DC universe should be. But I am convinced, and you even said that a lot of them, these fandomist people who are, they can be included amongst the Snyder Stans, really liked or even loved Guardians 3. And I think the thing is that once they get away from not getting the exact thing they wanted, which is Zack Snyder forever, and instead think to themselves, I just want to see a good damn DC movie. I just want to see a good movie. And they allow that. I think a lot of them will allow themselves to be entertained by James Gunn. Like, I don't think that they're lost. They're just kind of stuck in this little echo chamber. But once they get out of that echo chamber and just watch a damn good movie, it kind of goes away. So anyway, I had to push back on that. So you were saying, sir.
I was saying, I'm not talking about the Snyder stans. See, when I say stan, like when we say Snyder stans, we're talking about the insane people that literally, like, it's almost like stalking
Yeah.
Snyder. Those what I'm not talking about people that
Or
like Zack
as they say,
Snyder's
you
movies.
see the meme, Dick Rider. That one. That's
Yeah,
what.
yeah, those people who literally are making videos of Zack Snyder posting a video about him sipping tea. You see the way he's holding up the finger? That is the same finger that was in the Superman statue. Those are the people I'm talking about. Those people are not going to like it. Like there's literally you think I'm playing. I'm serious. I'm not making this up. There are literal videos of people breaking down every single tweet and every single post that Zack Snyder has ever posted on any social media trying to connect it to the Snyderverse. I swear I'm not making this up. Those people will never like, there's nothing you could do because they look at Zack Snyder like a god. You know what I mean? There's just nothing you can do. Those are what I consider Snyder stands.
Yeah.
You know, fans of the Snyderverse, yeah, of course, they'll switch over because the same fans of the Snyderverse love Peacemaker.
Right. You're right. Yeah. Those the hardcore ones. I think. Whatever. They forget those guys. The negative 1% of those people.
I don't even know what it is. It's honestly feeling like it's a cult. Like it's literally like because the man has events. It's almost feeling like it's a cult, man. And I'm not saying Zack Snyder's up to nothing nefarious, but I've never seen anything like this before, ever.
Yeah. Well, ignoring those guys, I think that look, I'm with you. This is a man of good taste. Like I was like, let me see what he says. Let me double check and make sure that we're on the same page, and we're 100% on the same page. Like the only one of those I hadn't seen was A History of Violence, but I know that A History of Violence was a very well received drama, and that Old Boy is a nutty Korean like weird revenge thing, you know, and it's a crazy movie. And as far as the superhero things, Deadpool is a as far as I'm concerned, it's gonna go down as a classic movie. You know, it's a classic comic book movie to me that deserved a lot more box office than it got, in my opinion. And the other two, it goes without saying. Like, and in fact, I'll tell you this much. The Superman one, I was like, yes, obviously, like because he's like 57, I think, like that was his Superman, and I get it. Everyone of that age or around that age, that's their Superman, and they have fond memories of seeing it as a kid in the theater and everything like that. And Christopher Reeve embodied the Superman that I think that he's aiming for. So cool, all good. I'm completely on board with that. But the Into the Spider-Verse as his favorite comic book movie, that solidifies it for me. This man gets it. He explained why. Not just the superheroic stuff, but like the drama. He said it's a nearly perfect movie. In fact, he may have even said it's a perfect comic book movie. And for one, I can't argue with that. I love that movie. I think I've seen that. I think I've seen Into the Spider-Verse more than I've seen just about any live action comic book movie. But not just that. He gets that it's about the characters, the characters and how they grow and change and everything. There's emotional things. He gets it. That's like that movie's great, and he understands why it's great. And I'm like, please, yes. If that's your sentiment, then Superman's about to be S tier. In fact, Lottie, calling it right here. What day is today? The 19th of May, 2023. I'm calling it S tier movie. So I don't know. You can co-sign with me or not, but I'm saying it's gonna be S tier. So
we'll see. I don't want to put proclamations. We'll see.
I am standing. I'm gonna die on this damn hill. James Gunn is gonna make an S tier Superman film, and to kick off the DC Studios new universe. You heard it here first. So we'll see if I'm right in a couple years' time. So, Anyway, that's everything for Under the Gun, and in fact, that's everything for this week. Lots of news, but maybe we missed something, or you heard something you agree with, disagree with. You got your own thoughts. You know what to do. Get down there to the comment section and leave those thoughts there. Of course, you can always hit us up, supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com or at supernotfunnys1 on Twitter. And while you're down there, do us a favor, hit the like button on this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so that you'll know when we drop more content on this channel. All of that interaction helps with the algorithm so that more people will see this channel, see these videos. We're trying to get all the way up to 200 subscribers. Yes, we're at 176 today, Lottie. Can you believe it? Let's get that up to 200, man. Let's get more people onto this channel so that the Supercast can grow. So, speaking of the Supercast, I can't do this by myself. My good friend Lottie, he adds his insight and wisdom to the conversation. So, Lottie, where can they reach you on social media?
Oh yeah, you can always find me on my Instagram, which is Anukinihun. Again, it's Anukinihun, ANUKINIHUN. Again, it's ANUKINIHUN, and of course my YouTube channel, which is Kinihun25. Working on some videos that I'm going to start posting on my Instagram and YouTube, so stay tuned for that. And if you had a chance, leave a like, a comment, or a subscription.
Yeah, you guys go over there, check out that channel and the Instagram, show some love, and also stay tuned for those live streams where Lottie gets killed repeatedly in Halo or other things. Are you playing Jedi Survivor or anything like that yet?
No, I haven't even played the first one.
Oh, I hear that. I've been meaning to get to it too. I've been thinking about streaming. That's right. We're doing streaming on this channel. I've been doing Wednesday streams. So if you guys keep an eye out or have the notification, if you're able to check me out on Wednesday mornings, I'm going to be talking about TV and movies and whatever other fun stuff. And also, I'm going to be streaming Street Fighter 6. We got the open beta coming this weekend, but in June it will be dropping. So you guys can watch me get my ass kicked at Street Fighter because I'm not very good, but I do like the game. So we got plenty more and you guys let us know if there's any other kind of content you guys are looking for. We're open to doing these things. We want this channel to grow so that more people who like talking about all these nerdy things will have a place to do it. So anyway, this has been the 101st episode of the Supercast. So glad to have you guys here. Come back next week. We got plenty more to talk about. We definitely have more superhero things that are going on. We'll talk about the strike and all that other stuff. So anyway, until then, I've been Mo De Pape, your resident fabricant and commenter extraordinaire on all things pop culture, joined by the anime expert, video game designer, and lover of all things superhero, my good friend Lottie. And we'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.
Peace.